Hi, my name is... What? My name is... Who? My name is... Daniel, okay? It's Daniel. Yes, I've moved across the country now. Yes, I have met Caitlin in person. Yes, I went to prom with her. And I wore a suit for the first time. And yes, I hit 1 year being graduated from high school in May. And yes, I turned 19 today. But that's not the point of this video, so pay attention and take some notes. So drip with me, my drops. I know the name Daniel isn't anything amazingly unique, but I'm fine with it. It's a solid name. In my opinion, it's like a 6 out of 10. I've met a few Daniels in my life. In kindergarten, there was like 2 other Daniels in my class. That was interesting. I've never really been a fan of nicknames, mostly because I've never had any. But one fateful day, fate itself struck down in my 8th grade middle school when I brought the same topic up to my good friend Carver. And from that moment that I mentioned it to the end of time, or at least the end of the day, he was on a quest to find a good nickname for me. He sat there ranting off nicknames at me as effectively as trying to stick a bar of wet soap on a window. When we were in tech ed class, we were just in the back working on our computers, and then he said it. Dan. At this point, I was just so caught off guard, I went from like, whatever, to no, don't you dare! To which it felt like trying to stop a cat from knocking something off of a table as he gave me this look of an inevitable, unescapable satisfaction as he preached down to me, yes, Dan. For Spanish class, we were supposed to choose a Spanish name. They even give us a list to choose from this vast plethora of new identities to go behind. I chose Daniel. But my Spanish teacher from Honduras, who had an accent, just pronounced it Danielle. We technically could have made one up that was Spanish, but I was never very good at making up names, which leads me to my next point of this video, my usernames. I never had a reason to make up username, considering I didn't access the internet for anything more than playing Little Big Planet with my Ethernet cable. My brother was working on something for Minecraft, and he was trying to ram me into something, and so he told me I needed to think of something, and he started asking me questions to get an idea. He finished the little thing he was making, and when he finally showed me, we got to see it in action. Sugar Monster. Yeah, not that. Dear God, anything. See, Sugar Monster came from the question, what do you like? Because I said I like Cookie Monster, but my brother was like, you can't just be Cookie Monster. And I thought Sugar Monster was like some big brain idea, but you know how that went. So another thing I knew I liked was electricity. I was really into the elements thing. Not periodic table elements, more like elements of nature and forces and stuff, controlling things around you and shooting stuff like fire and water out of your hands. And I bet you could all guess where that came from. Yeah, that's right, Infamous. I loved Infamous as a kid. I never even gotten that far into the game, or even understood the deep, messed up depths of doing right and wrong in such a despairing atmosphere. I was just like, cool, sparkly zap powers. Zap. And fate met one day when thinking about that enjoyment of electricity as I was watching Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, all the way back in, like, man, this movie came out in 2009. I'm so old. I was like 6, and I saw some cool Transformer on screen, and I found out his name was Soundwave, and I was like, Soundwave, electricity. And there it was, the biggest brain moment I've ever had in my entire life. All of my brain cells into one big idea. I'll take the name of this Transformer, and I'll change it with this thing I like, and make a name like no other! Shockwave! Which is also the name of a Transformer, but I was like 6. Okay, let me have this. In my mind, I was like, yeah! Shockwave! Colt from Infamous had a move called Shockwave 2! It's perfect! I figured out this. And boom, my first actual username was created. 78 was just added on there occasionally because it's like my favorite number, because like, I don't know, I just think it's neat. And a few years later, I made an actual PlayStation account under the name Shockwave78. I put Shockwave on just about everything, but it was mostly used for my gaming purposes. And I've had many people mention that it was a Transformer, and I just kind of accepted it like, yeah, I know. I do have some funny stories of people using my username, like in more recent years, Apex. These two stories are like the duality of man when it comes to little children on the internet. So one of them, we all drop in, and my one teammate goes really far away for some reason, but me and this kid with a mic are together, and we got attacked by a squad, and I just pretty much 3v1 while this kid watches and goes, wow, Shockwave, you're such a god, you're so good, Shockwave. Then our other teammate who was making his way over gets down, so I start rushing to save him, and not even halfway through, he just leaves. And while I'm running, the kid gets attacked, so I have to rush back to save him, and before I even turn all the way around, the kid goes down and screams, F*** you, Shockwave, you f***ing suck! Then quits the game. Mind you, this whole thing happened in like a span of maybe 10 seconds, so it was odd to see him flip so quickly. On the other hand, I was playing a different match, and the entire round my teammates were silent. We went up against a squad, which ended up with both my teammates getting taken right out of the game. without even leaving a scratch on any of the 3 of them. And they were geared up and beefy, and I was like, well, I lost. Might as well just let them finish me off. But then this kid hops onto his mic and goes, "You've got this, Shockwave! You can do this! You've got the heart of a warrior! Get him!" And for some reason, this small child's words burn a fire in my heart as I just go rampaging into the fight. Better than I ever have before. So this kid screams from the afterlife, "Come on, Shockwave! You're unstoppable! You've got the eye of a tiger!" And as I'm clearing off the second teammate with pure determination, clenched in my fists, I turn around and just splattered by a shotgun and die. And this kid just goes, "Oh," all sad, and then he leaves. And never have I ever felt like I've disappointed someone I've never even met so badly. Please, random kid on Apex from like 2 years ago, if you're watching this, I'm so sorry I couldn't clutch it. Please don't remember the name Shockwave in vain. But came along the time I went to YouTube. I joined YouTube under the name Daniel, really just as a massive Markiplier fanboy. Then I became a live stream watcher. Then I became a massive weeb for Doki Doki Literature Club. Then under the name Daniel, eventually I found Mustard Chuck. Then became a fanboy. As more time passed, I took the idea of going to be a YouTuber someday more seriously, so I took my real name off and I put on Shockwave. And that one fateful day when I finally got up the courage to just go for it, I really wanted to change the name. Mostly because I had done all kinds of stuff on the internet as Shockwave, but I really wanted a fresh start. It was hard thinking of a new name after having the same one for so long. I really just considered changes on Shockwave, but thinking more about like Thunderwave, Electric Wave, but it just didn't ever ring with me. So again, the process of thinking, what would I do? What would I call myself? How would I address myself to my channel? Hello everybody, my name is Shockwave, and today we're... no, that's too obviously just Markiplier's intro. I remember the intro of a YouTuber I also like to watch, Crank Gameplays, which was, "What is up, my cranky crew?" which was so cringy but fun. They made a lot of jokes about it, and it was memorable. What's zippity zappin', ladies and gents? Shockwave here. Am I really gonna do gaming? I don't think I have the charisma to be a Let's Player. I tried making game theories before, but they're hard. But I always had thoughts on the ones that Game Theory already made. Hey guys, Thunder Theorist here. We're gonna be talking about Game Theory's newest theory, because Pat is the lightning and I am the thunder. Ka-chow. God, yeah, let's never tell a living soul about that one. Animation? I animated stuff before. Maybe I could do something with that. Thunder animation. Zapping pictures. Static sketches. Salsa sketches. No, it works better if it's a name people can say rather than it just being the kind of videos you make. You know, I've always thought about the electricity part of Shockwave. What about the water part? Drop wave, shock water, shock puddle wave. Like the name process go, it wasn't instant, but ripple wave. Those are two very different looking motions, ripple and wave. That sounds cool. Not really sure if it suits me, but it calls back to Shockwave, and it'll have to do for now. Truly speaking, Ripple Wave was a filler name, until I thought of something better, something permanent. And I went out dressed up in my new name. I felt happy about the channel, but made it clear the name was a work in progress. I truly wish I could remember who it was, but it wasn't until someone addressed me, not as Ripple Wave Animation, not as Ripple Wave, but as Ripple. And it kind of just, for a moment, made me realize it wasn't just a name anymore. I was a person, to the people who saw the name. And Ripplewave became a proud mantled name in my identity. It was really hard, but I found it was better to clear out my Shockwave names, and truly the biggest one that was a strain was my PlayStation account. They added a feature where you could change your name, and I streamed with my account, so I figured it should match. I changed it, but it's not like I wasn't sentimental about it. I even took the screenshot to immortalize the memory. Goodbye, Shockwave. Gone, but not forgotten. I can only hope someday people will look up to the name Ripplewave and remember it as fondly as I idolize Shockwave. Yes, my real name is Daniel, but Ripple will do just fine. Happy birthday to me, happy late birthday to Shockwave, and keep it zippity zappin' my zops. You know what I mean. Have a good one. Bye bye.